Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking on our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is Tug of War, and that is because there are so many planets all opposing each other. In fact, 9 of the 10 planets are in some sort of opposition. And that is why there can be a tug of war this week. And the important thing to remember is you can't have it all. So there'll have to be some adjustments that you make, or a compromise, or you'll have to adapt to something this week, whether you like it or not. So it may not be the easiest week to live through, but that is what we have to do. And that is because every planet except the sun in Gemini is being opposed by some other planet. And the sun in Gemini is being squared by the moon in Virgo and also by Neptune in Pisces. So there are harsh aspects to that sun as well, but no opposition. And since Gemini does rule change, that is a sort of positive affirmation that there does have to be a change, and it may be due to some challenging circumstance or challenging relationship in your life. Because Venus, which is beautifully aspected because it's at home in the sign it rules, Taurus, is actually being opposed by Saturn in Scorpio. And since these are the 2 financial signs, it simply means that there can be very high costs, and there can be shrinking resources or credit problems or debts that have to be paid off. And so you can be sort of on a tug of war in between wanting the nicer things in life, which are at a higher cost right now, but perhaps not wanting to go into more debt for them. Or if you're wanting to purchase something, your credit rating could be a little bit at risk depending upon how much debt you already have. So there's that tug of war going on between the high cost of living and scarce resources. But Uranus in Aries, which does rule new beginnings, and it does rule sudden change and the future, is being opposed strongly by Mars now in Libra. And Mars has gone direct, and so it's zooming through that sign right now. And so since it is moving up to a precise opposition to Uranus next week, it simply means that there can be a lot of pressure on a relationship right now, or on a legal matter that could lead to a breakup or a divorce or some sort of canceled contract. And that pressure is building right now. It's going to keep going until it gets exact between these planets, and then I think something's going to break or something's going to have to give. And then Neptune in Pisces, which is very strong because it rules that sign, is being opposed today by the moon in Virgo. Virgo rules facts, Pisces rules dreams. So there can be a conflict or a tug of war between what you really wish you were able to do and what you, when you face the facts, what you have to deal with instead. Virgo rules your health. It also rules employment, and it rules accounting. So it's a very practical earth sign, and there can be people demanding more facts from you right now. So you can have your mind and your feelings devoted to your dreams, but you better wake up and face the facts too, because that can promote a tug of war that can be somewhat stressful for you as well. And then Pluto, which is in Capricorn, which is a cardinal sign, is being opposed by 2 planets, Jupiter and Mercury in Cancer. It's also being squared by that Mars in Libra and by Uranus in Aries. So there are 5 planets in the cardinal signs harshly aspecting each other, which means that people can be in disagreement, or they can be staunchly clinging to their own viewpoint and unwilling to see anyone else's. That can create a tug of war as well. So these are the things that we have to look forward to. We have to be able to sort of give and take a little bit more this week, or you could be looking at some sort of pressure or tension that could mount to the point of causing a real rupture or a real break of some kind. And before you get to that point, which might be pretty close, you should try to sort of give and take a little bit during this tug of war when there can be opposing viewpoints right now. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to get everything they want. In fact, I don't think anyone is going to get what they want. And that is why in a tug of war, if you can adapt or agree to change a little bit, remembering that the sun is in Gemini, I think that you will be better off, which would be great. And it isn't that there aren't good aspects as well, which is wonderful because that can help you get through the week. There is a wonderful grand trine in water signs which rule our feelings. And so that same Mercury and Jupiter in Cancer are trining Saturn in Scorpio and Neptune in Pisces. So there can be a lot of sympathetic understanding and emotional support for what you do want to do, particularly for your dreams or for your hopes and wishes that are concerned with your family. This could be a good time to move, but there could be a little tug of war regarding pressure in your daily life if you're thinking about doing that. And there could be a little scarcity of funds as well, so you have to be a little bit careful and realize you can't have it all. But that grand trine in water signs means that there are a lot of people that can be popular and get a lot of sympathetic support right now, which is good and can help you if you're in a little bit of trouble. The other grand trine is among the earth signs. Venus, which is at home in Taurus, is trining the moon in Virgo today, and it's also trining that Pluto in Capricorn. And so that simply means that people need to be very prudent about financial affairs right now. Maybe you will have to trim your budget a little bit in order to fit the high cost of living. Or maybe you'll have to change some sort of loan terms or credit terms right now. But that is all right. There can be a lot of emphasis on sort of scaling down a little bit and living within your means, and that can work out really well. Or it can be that this is a good time to sell an investment and sort of provide for your family that way. There's another trine as well, and that is between the sun in Gemini and that forceful Mars in Libra, because both of them are trining the sign of Aquarius, which does rule the future. So you could get help from very energetic partners right now if you agree to change, or if you agree to adapt to something, or try on something just for a short period of time and sort of give it a trial run. You could get help with that. So that could be good, and that could help ease the pressure, particularly if there is a breakup pending or some sort of possibility of or threat of a canceled contract. Maybe you can get some help to work out terms instead. All right, what does this tug of war mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that you are definitely wishing for your freedom right now, and it can be freedom from the stress that you can be under and which can be building. The only element that doesn't have a trine in it is the fire signs, and yours is a fire sign. So yes, Uranus is in your sign, denoting that you are a person who could make a sudden change. You may want to rebel and start off in a new direction, and you probably would be successful at that, and that may be the only way to get out from under the pressure that you're facing right now, because there are 4 other planets in the cardinal signs, and they're all harshly aspecting your sign. But the one you need to worry about, Aries, is that Mars, which is now direct in Libra, and it is moving up to a precise opposition with Uranus. It's opposing Uranus in your sign right now, but it's going to be exact in another week, and that is probably going to precipitate some sort of breakup or departure, either yours or a partner's, or a legal problem, or there can be a serious threat of a canceled contract. And so you may just want to get out from under all that pressure and start something new instead. And I think you should do it just in order to know that you can be in charge of something, because it's looking like you're being extremely challenged right now, Aries. And that is not going to go away. In fact, the pressure is going to increase instead. And that is why I hope that when you're feeling this tug of war going on, that you don't explode yourself. I hope you have some sort of outlet right now, because I think you're going to need it to take the pressure off. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, lucky you. Yes, Saturn in Scorpio is opposing Venus in your sign, and it is well fortified in a grand trine in water signs. But Venus is well fortified right now too, because there's a grand trine in the earth signs. So lucky you, Taurus, you can absolutely be at your best right now because Venus is in your sign. And your sign is the sign of the good provider. You may decide to go ahead and provide for your loved ones. And that is because you want to see them succeed, and you want them to get ahead, and you want them to enjoy comforts. And you probably have an investment that has been paying off handsomely, and I think you can probably afford something. Also, your health could be getting better, and that is because your feelings can be calming down about something right now. Maybe you have more support right now, so you don't have to worry about things as much, or maybe you have passed some sort of a deadline right now, and you can be looking forward to things working out a little bit better, particularly regarding your long-term security, which is what Pluto in Capricorn rules. So go ahead and put a smile on your face and do what you're good at, Taurus, which is working hard and providing well for others, because I think you're in a good mood, and love could be in the air for you as well. So this is a time when your talent can really show. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, yours is the only sign that doesn't have a planet opposing it, and that is because there are no planets in Sagittarius right now. But you do have the moon in Virgo squaring your sun, and Neptune in Pisces also squaring your sun. And that simply means that there does have to be change right now, and you wouldn't mind that, Gemini. Yours is the sign of change. But there can be a conflict between the emotions that other people are feeling and the concentration that they have to place on facts, particularly on health and on employment matters, and the dreams that other people have. I don't think you're being told the whole truth about something right now, and that's because Neptune is squaring your sun. It's going to be squaring your sun for years too. So you really do need to check all the facts. And so if you are caught up in some sort of tug of war this week, that may not be a bad idea, Gemini, because as soon as you find out all of the facts to something, you could get energetic help from partners to help you solve problems, or to go ahead on a new start that could greatly enhance your future. So you have a lot to gain, even if there is some pressure right now or some challenges. So I would say, if you don't get all your questions answered, Gemini, keep digging, because you will get help from people, and it looks like you will benefit from some sort of legal matter right now, which is good. And even if there's a breakup, you'd benefit from that too. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time when you can choose which way you want to go. And the reason why you have to choose is because, yes, there's a grand trine in water signs, which means that you can be very sympathetic toward other people, and you can be thinking of a move since Mercury is now in your sign along with Jupiter. And so you have your mind on family and home matters, and you can even be thinking about how the family can expand. Maybe your family is expanding in one way or another. But yours is a cardinal sign too. And remember, there are a lot of oppositions and squares among 5 planets in cardinal signs. And so you can be under pressure, and you could be undergoing some sort of tug of war that has to do with a conflict between work and home. And so you'll have to sort of work that out a little bit, or do some giving and some taking, and be a little bit adaptable right now in order to get through some period of time when there can be a lot of pressure and change in your daily life. And I think that you'll just have to live with it, Cancer. And as long as you are very sympathetic, and as long as you realize how popular you are and how much emotional support you have, I think that you can get through anything, as long as you know that your friends really care about you, and they do. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when I think that you're rather lucky and can sit this one out, Leo, and that is because there is no planet in your sign, and there is no planet opposing your sign, because there's nothing in Aquarius. So there isn't an opposition right now, but you certainly are facing some harsh squares that you do have to deal with, and they would represent challenges to you right now, Leo. And that is because Venus at home in Taurus is squaring your sun, and so you may have your eyes on something very expensive that you know you can't afford right now. And so I hope that some of your investments can be paying off, or that you can sell them in order to pay for something you'd like, because I think you're facing the high cost of living right now. But on the other hand, Saturn is in Scorpio, also squaring your sun, and it represents scarcity of resources, or your credit situation, or some loans or debts that have to be repaid. So there you are, facing those challenges, not being pulled in one way or another, but you're sort of trying to accommodate everything. I don't think that's going to quite happen right now, and you may have to put some dreams about luxury things on the shelf right now and work a little bit more on realizing how you have to fit in budget matters into a debt situation or a credit situation, so that you can get that off your back as well. So no, there aren't any oppositions, but you do have some financial matters that you do have to really look hard at. And I strongly advise you, Leo, not to go into further debt. And the reason why is that in August and September, both Mars and Saturn will be in Scorpio, squaring your sun sign. And for you and anyone else who is in debt, it's going to be very hard to pay off debt by that time. It might be because interest rates rise, or that the high cost of living goes up even more. That wouldn't be good. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, when I said that everyone has to be prudent in financial matters, that's the way you always are anyway, because your sign rules banking. And so Virgo, this is a wonderful time for you, even though Neptune in Pisces is opposing the moon in your sign. That simply means that you're quite willing to put your dreams on the shelf, because you know you need to pay attention to realistic matters, and you are good at problem solving. There can be an opportunity for a promotion for you, or some sort of good money coming your way, because Venus in Taurus is trining the moon in your sign. And so you could be anxious to have a little bit more money in your pocket, and I think other people could be willing to pay you for that as well, Virgo. So I think your stock has gone up, and that people can see how reliable you are, and that's what they need right now. They need reliable people who are good time managers in order to be productive and efficient, and that is you. Also, Pluto in Capricorn is trining your sun, and so with this grand trine in earth signs right now, I think that you will be able to be more prudent and streamline things in a cost-effective way. So you could actually shine right now, Virgo. Good luck. What does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when you can be supercharged, and that is because Mars is in your sign, and it is now going forward, and it is moving closer and closer to an exact opposition to Uranus in Aries. And that is going to put a lot of pressure on a partnership or a legal matter or some sort of contract terms. And on top of that, Mars in your sign is being squared by Pluto in Capricorn, and also by Mercury and Jupiter in Cancer. So yeah, you've got a tug of war on your hands between somebody who wants to do everything their own way and you who wants to have things sort of fair and well balanced. I don't think that's really going to happen right now, Libra, but as long as you are amenable to change, I think that you'll come out all right. And that's because the sun in Gemini is trining your sun. So if you can pick up another part-time job, or if you can buy or sell or rent or promote or advertise something right now, I think that you'll do very well. And it is you that I think wants to make a change. This is a good time to do that. It's just that there can be pressure on you as well, and you have to find some outlet for the pressure before you overdo it. That wouldn't be good. But Mars is in your sign, and Mars does overdo things. So you have to sort of try to keep a little bit of a lid on it and not push yourself too hard right now if you can't. If you can possibly relax, that would be a good idea, Libra. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a great time for you, even though Venus is opposing your sun. It's in Taurus right now, so there can be a tug of war between something that is a little bit high priced that you would like to get your hands on, and needing to stay within your budget and be very, very careful. You may feel that love is at a distance because Venus is opposing your sun, or there is the possibility, since it's opposing Saturn in your sun sign, that there can be a betrayal right now. But it might be yours, Scorpio. You might just decide that you are done with something that isn't satisfying to you, and you can be thinking a lot more about your home or your family, and you may have a move on your horizon, Scorpio, and maybe that's what you should just pay attention to. You could be just a little bit tired, and that's why you might decide to give up on something right now. I don't think you're going to give up on it in the end, but maybe just for right now you could put something sort of on the shelf or on hold, and maybe that's a good idea because you're very popular. You have a lot of sympathetic support, but I think you want to go slow right now, and that's a good idea. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, there aren't any planets in your sign, but the sun in Gemini is opposing your sun sign. And so that simply means that people want to do things in a short and a quick way, and you are your sign is a restless sign and an intellectual sign, and you do like to sort of know about things in depth, whereas other people are just interested in short-term things or short-term conversations or training sessions, even short journeys, whereas you might have your mind on something that is longer term or longer distance. You could go back to something right now, Sagittarius. Oddly enough, a new opportunity could come and present itself to you since Uranus is in Aries, trining your sun, but that new opportunity would involve something that you'd already done before. And I think that you should give it a shot. And maybe it would be just part-time right now, but it might turn into something even better because you could pick up new partners since the sun in Gemini is trining Mars in Libra, and that sextiles your sun. So I would give something a try, even if you've done it before, because that will keep you real busy. And I think people who are busy are in a better position to react to the pressure that we're all undergoing in this time of tug of war. So stay busy if you can, Sagittarius. All right, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, lucky you, there is a grand trine in Earth signs, and yet there's also a grand cross among 5 planets in cardinal signs, which are all squaring and opposing each other, and yours is a cardinal sign. So yes, you're undergoing a tug of war, and yes, you're undergoing many challenges from people who do not agree with you at all, Capricorn. But on the other hand, if you would just tune those people out right now, Capricorn, and concentrate on your health, and concentrate also on your long-term security, and on higher priced things, or handling your investments a little bit better. In other words, concentrate on your own goals, and try not to pay attention to anybody else's opinions right now. And so that means mind your own business, Capricorn. You'll be a lot better off because with the grand trine in Earth signs, you can make headway on the goals that you have, particularly long-term goals, which is what your sign rules. So I would go ahead and stick to that and not get involved in any controversy with anybody else right now. Just turn your back on them and concentrate on your own business. You will be very happy and very productive. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time when change is in the air, and that can be the result of a tug-of-war or because of many challenges, particularly financial challenges. But I think that you benefit from buying and selling and from some sort of legal action right now, or people who can be very energetic partners. The thing you don't benefit from can be romance, because Venus in Taurus is squaring your sun, and it's very strong there. And so I don't think you can afford the good life right now, or you can't afford too many luxuries right now, or else someone else doesn't want to spend extra money on you right now, so you're going to have to just live with that. And Saturn in Scorpio, the other financial sign, is squaring your sign as well. So don't dig into an intractable situation, Aquarius. Try to be more flexible, because there are planets in the other air signs, and they will help you. So get out and talk to people. And if you don't like what you're hearing, go talk to somebody new, because the communication can really flow for you right now, and that can help you in the future. All right, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, yes, the moon in Virgo is opposing your sun sign where you have Neptune, and that can represent a tug of war between the things that you are dreaming about that you wish you could be doing and the fact that other people want you to get a little bit more down to earth and face the facts. And they can be demanding facts from you, and they could be asking you tiresome questions, but you do have to respond to that, Pisces. You are popular and there is a lot of support. There can be talk of a move right now in your life, and that would be very productive. You should continue talking about that or thinking about that. But on the other hand, it could involve a lot of paperwork, and that could be those facts that you have to fill out. So you do have to come up with a lot of pesky information right now, Pisces, but it really could get you your heart's desire in the end, so I hope you give that a try. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see our show anytime you want on our website, starborninstitute.org, and if you subscribe on the website, it can be sent to you so that you can watch it at your convenience. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next week. Bye.